Hello and welcome to Sport Africa, the BBC's weekly program fully devoted to African sport. I am Celestine Caronet, and in this week's program, some call it the more entertaining version of rugby. So, is the sevens the future for Africa? An African football story with Irish roots. Esperance's Ayman Ben Mohamed narrates his journey.
I was pretty shocked at the atmosphere. It's crazy, really crazy atmosphere.
WWE with African flavor. We are in South Africa exploring its wrestling scene. An Olympic silver medalist with a passion for cartoons. Gabon's Anthony Obame bears all. And find out who gets to be crowned this week's armchair experts. Thank you for joining us on BBC Sport Africa, coming to you from Kenya's oldest and most successful rugby club, Nondi's RFC. Rugby is the only team sport where an African country can boast a senior World Cup title. Not once, but twice, South Africa have lifted the Webb Ellis Trophy. But this week we are drilling down on the shorter version of the game, sevens. Its growth figures in Africa are impressive. And so in our big question we ask, is the sevens the future for African rugby?
I play sevens rugby because it's exciting, it's fast, and keeps your blood rushing.
Short, sharp, fast and fun.
Like the purest version of rugby.
14 minutes of madness, high intensity, and you're done.
Sevens is the future in Africa.
Try time, Kenya!
Few sports are growing as fast as the rugby sevens across the African continent. And I'm here at one of the top sevens tournament in the continent, the Safari Sevens, here in Nairobi, to find out why.
Sevens accommodate few people, but very many teams. It's very easy to host a sevens tournament compared to the 15s.
15s, for the repechage, we needed about 35 million. The sevens team is much less. With about 10 to 15 million, you're able to prepare the team for HSB series.
I think sevens is an easier way to pull in the fans, pull in more players to play the sport as you build up for the 15s, because 15s is more technical, more complex, and a little bit more resource intensive.
Personally, as a coach, I'm more inclined to pursue the sevens angle. We get to hone the players to develop their skills to the maximum. Tackling, running, jumping, racking. You know, this guy is like the complete player.
For most countries, the sevens game has been used as an entry point to the 15s.
In Uganda, like for example, sevens players make the best backline players because that's when you have the brilliant switches, the fast movement that's expected in the backline. So when you bring the sevens type of play to the 15s, it just brings out a beautiful game of rugby.
Sevens is easy on the eye. It's more beautiful. It's just running in space. It's simply, you put it this way, they pass behind and they run in front. That's it. And they score at the end. So 15s is much more technical, and that's why sevens attracts fans more than 15s. Brilliant, entertaining, action-packed, amazing festival. It's a festival.
Sevens rugby is exploding across Africa. In the past 5 years, the number of players taking up rugby across the continent has nearly doubled, many of them taking up sevens. There's also been a huge rise in the number of tournaments, TV viewership and fan base, with rugby attracting 30 million more fans in Africa in the last 5 years. Some of the explanations for the growth of the rugby sevens in Africa was its introduction as an Olympic sport in the 2016 Olympic Games in Rio de Janeiro.
If you really want to be on the global stage, you need to go to the Olympics. There's way more people. I think that's the biggest attended event. What's the event? So if you want to market your product, you have to be there.
Most players are playing both versions of the game, but do they have a preference?
I would be lying to myself if I said that I didn't want to to be a part of the 15s. I think it's every rugby player's dream, to go to a World Cup and match yourself against the best.
the sevens game has bring the best out of me because I didn't know I had speed, one. Two, I've traveled, like I've been into Rio Olympics, I've been to Commonwealth Games.
Sevens are better. There's a lot of space to use instead of the 15s. 15s, it's more packed. It's more of power than the break.
Mixed opinion clearly, just as there was when we asked if sevens really is the future for African rugby.
Yes, it is. Because like in Africa, we are given only one slot to the World Cup. But at least in sevens, we are pushing. At least 2 teams can go to Hong Kong and another one can go for Dubai sevens. There's a lot of space for us compared to the 15s.
Not at all, because like we need to invest in both teams, 15s and 7s.
When you look at the other, New Zealand, you look at South Africa, you look at England, it will take us many years to get to the level where they are. So in sevens, we were able to actually match them and beat them.
Look at Ghana, for example. Ghana, Senegal, Zambia got a very good sevens program going down there. And for us guys who take part in the Sevens Africa Cup, we are feeling a lot more impact in that area. You know, teams like Madagascar, for example, very competitive. Tunisia, you know, in the next 5 years, I'm sure we're going to be having, you know, 2 or 3 teams giving Kenya a run for their money.
The flamboyant fans do add to the entertaining atmosphere in sevens rugby. Now, each week we put 2 contestants on the hot seat to see whose sports knowledge can live up to our test. So let's find out who will be battling for the armchair expert throne this week. Over to our referee, Janine Anthony in Lagos.
Hello and welcome to this week's Armchair Expert. The super contestants we have on the show are ready to ride on this journey and sit on my throne. Let's get to meet them.
My name is Ibukun Aluko, popularly known as IBK Sports. As always, I do my talking on the field of play.
My name is Farouk Adetola, like a comedy sport member. I'm here to sting this man.
Round 1 is centered around this week's team, which is the FIFA Club World Cup that's going down this week. So we get started with the rules.
Round 1. It's simple. 30 seconds each to answer as many questions as possible on what's going on in the sporting week.
Your time starts now. Name one of 2 clubs to have won the Club World Cup 3 times.
Barcelona.
Correct. What club is the only English side to have won the Club World Cup?
Manchester United.
Correct. Who are the current CWC title holders, which is Club World Cup?
Real Madrid.
Correct. Chelsea reached the CWC final in which year?
2013.
2012.
2012.
Name 2 players with at least 5 World Cup goals.
Cristiano Ronaldo.
Correct. And another one?
Lionel Messi.
Correct. Good round there. 4 points. You just breeze through it. You're ready. Are you sure you're ready?
Definitely.
I'm loading your questions now.
Here we go.
And your time starts now. Which African club reached the 2010 FIFA Club World Cup final?
Pass.
TP Mazembe. Which country will host the 2018 CWC?
China.
United Arab Emirates. Who won the 2013 FIFA Club World Cup?
Bayern Munich.
Correct. Who is the Egyptian player with the most goals at the CWC?
Pass.
Mohamed Abu Tarika. What year was the first CWC Club World Cup?
2000.
Correct. The Club World Cup is played every 2 years. True or false?
False.
Correct. What continent has produced the most winners in the CWC?
Europe.
Correct. That was a good try. I think it's a tie, but we have to confirm from the scoreboard. 4-4, guys. Big tie. Round 2 coming up. You have to stick around.
What a tight round, and the guys' knowledge of the FIFA Club World Cup isn't too bad. Speaking of the FIFA Club World Cup, Africa is being represented by Tunisian champions Esperance after they won a thrilling African Champions League final against Egypt's Al Ahly. For one player, Saturday's match is another step on a remarkable football journey. A journey which did not start in Africa, but thousands of miles away in Ireland.
Difficult to put into words. It was a really special night. It's an incredible feeling to be a Champions League winner. Even growing up in Ireland, I knew of Esperance. My dad was a supporter. Like, I wouldn't say I followed really closely, but I did follow Tunisian football to some extent. I think when you play for a club, you start to love the club itself. I wouldn't say I'm 100% Tunisian. I'm half Irish. At the end of the day, my mother's Irish, and I was born and raised in Ireland, and I'm proud of that. Although I played for the Tunisian national team, I still consider myself Irish at the same time, and yeah, I'm proud of that as well. At the start, you know, it was difficult for me to integrate and to get used to the environment. Ireland's pretty cold and pretty dull weather, you can say. The first year of my time in Esperance was really trying to adapt to the environment, the culture and the language. The first year was difficult. I felt quite homesick as well. I think the fans helped me to get through all the difficult stages when I got injured as well. They were always behind me, they're always supporting me, so no, I'm very grateful for that, and they definitely have a special place in my heart. I was pretty shocked, like, at the atmosphere. It's crazy, really crazy atmosphere. And they have their flares and their chants, and no, I think they're really important, especially for Esperance. They're like really the driving force, I think, behind the club is the fans. Sometimes I look at them just to remember, you know, my career and remember where I came from. This green jersey is from my school team. Under 14s I was playing at the time, and that year we won the Leinster Cup. It's like the regional sort of cup, and we went to the All-Ireland final.
Let's pressure them and get the ball back. Come on, squeeze, let's go.
When I heard that Eamon took his old Benilde's College jersey over to Tunisia with him, and that's something that still means a great deal to him, I really was thrilled to hear that. In Irish we say, an te náfuil láidir ní fullordo ve glick, which means he who is not big and strong must be resourceful, and Eamon was very, very resourceful on the pitch. His pace, his energy and his bravery. I mean, that fighting spirit was with him from the very, very start.
This was the All-Ireland final. I'm right there, number 11. I fit right in the picture, but my name stands out because it's not the most Irish name you'll find. I think when the fans seen me at the start, they're a bit sceptical because I'm thin and European looking or whatever, and they think he might be soft. I like to give it everything on the pitch. I like a tackle, and playing in the League of Ireland is quite a physical league. African teams in general, they don't do too well in it, but I think this year we're going to try to be an exception to that. Any player dreams about playing against the likes of Real Madrid. It's a good challenge. So no, we're very excited about coming up against top teams, and hopefully we do come up against Real Madrid.
Time for a break now, and when we return, Gabon's sole Olympic medalist shows us how to do the Kamehameha. Yes, that one from the anime series Dragon Ball. Welcome back to BBC Sport Africa. I am Celestine Caronay. When you think of professional wrestling, you probably think of the big American promotions like WWE. But did you know that here in Africa, we have our own homegrown wrestling stars?
When I'm wrestling, I'm a different person. The minute I enter the ring, I'm Cindy Gold. I'm not scared at all.
Cindy, let's go. You can do this, girl.
I've been wrestling for about 6 months now. I started wrestling because I really love it. I kind of grew up watching wrestling all my life. I just completely fell in love with it, and I told my mom that I want to be a wrestler. I'm going to be a wrestler, and I'm going to be a very good wrestler. She was very scared. She thought I'd get hurt. I feel like I am carving a path because there are not that many black wrestlers or females.
One more time!
And I hope in the future there will be many black female wrestlers.
Cindy is a very special girl in my eyes, and she's proved herself not once but a few times already. She's going to make it big time. She's got a big heart. She's got a passion. You know, she just want to do it. That's what she's going to do. She's a fighter.
I'm feeling very nervous before my match. Very nervous. I feel like the nerves will never go away, and happy at the same time because I love the sports.
Please welcome the lady in gold, CJ.
I always love the people's reaction, whether it's bad or good, but I want to get them to react, and when they do, I get very happy. My message to all the women is to follow your dreams, follow your heart. If you love the sport, do it. Don't hold back, do it. It feels awesome because I've had my first win ever. My plans for the future is to fight more. Whether I win or lose, but fight more so I can get the Women's Championship. That's my plan.
Quite a remarkable young lady. Now the search for our armchair expert continues. It's the second round, so let's see who will take the lead between Ibokun and Farouk. Here's our referee, Janine, in Lagos.
Welcome back. I couldn't wait to be back. 4-4 are 2 contestants from round 1. It's time for round 2, and here are the rules.
Round 2, convince me. You each have 15 seconds to argue for or against. 2 points are up for grabs.
Should the FIFA Club World Cup be expanded to 24 teams? What say you? 4?
Yeah, it should.
It should be expanded, and you're saying?
No.
No, it shouldn't be expanded. I'll start with you. You ready?
Yeah.
Your time starts.
Well, it's very easy. The minority continents, they also need to feel among when it comes to football. And the only way you could bring them together or to advance in a competition like that is to involve more teams. And when you get more teams, you get them to advance more in a competition like that.
Good. Right on point, right on cue. Good arguments. Do you want to trump that?
Well, I will. Definitely, I think it's so simple. We call it the World Club Championship, and that means winners from each continent. We want to bring in more on a team on what merit. It defeats the aim of setting up the championship. You have Asia, you have Africa, you have Oceania, Europe, South America, North America. So what else do you want?
That's also a good argument and on point as well. That's the part I don't like, but my 2 points definitely goes to Ibukun. It's not just, even in the Champions League, you still have teams that didn't win their league but end up winning the Champions League. So that's a good point. It gets more teams involved, at least the top couple of teams. That's a good argument. On the scoreboard now, 2 points, you have 6 and 4. Round 3, let's get ready to go.
There's one more round to go, but now, He is the first and only Olympic medalist Gabon has ever had. Anthony Obame won silver in the over 80 kilograms category in Taekwondo at the 2012 Olympics. But did you know that he has a passion for cartoons? Let's get to know more about him in this week's Who Am I?
I guess I have to tell you, I grabbed my phone. Use my phone. It's to be the first Olympic medalist from my country, the first and only one in all Gabon's history. But I have another one close to my heart, my World Championship title, because that meant being number one, really being on top of the world. If I didn't do Taekwondo, I think I would have been a basketballer.
Anthony, ¿qué es eso? Despiértate, espabila.
That's my trainer Ramos. My father, being able to accept what we have, appreciating what we have, working hard and persevering, he taught us all those things. Sangoku, no doubt. Master Roshi taught him that trick. I listen to gospel music because I am a Christian.
Yahvé fait des merveilles, car il est Yahvé qui fait des merveilles.
Bien sûr.
Of course, running. I hate running.
Ne fais pas.
Don't do Taekwondo for money. Because if there is no money in it, your motivation will go down.
Fais le Taekwondo.
Do Taekwondo for medals, for victory, to be number one, to be the best.
I will not even try to do that Kamehameha move. Now, Ibokun is in the lead, but who will be crowned armchair expert? Time to find out in the final round. Over to you, Janine.
Welcome back, guys. Just 2 points separating Ibokun and, of course, Farouk. And it's round 3 crunch time. Here are the rules.
Round 3, the quickfire decider. 45 seconds to push up your score. Remember, shout your name before you answer or you'll lose out.
Time starts now. In which sport can you win the Davis Cup?
Farouk, tennis.
He shall his name first. Correct. Which is the only country to have played every World Cup?
Brazil.
Correct. In which year was Lance Armstrong stripped of all 7 Tour de France
IBK
titles?
2013, 2012.
Farouk, 2011.
2012. Which English football team was nicknamed the Hornets?
IBK.
Farouk.
Wolves.
Watford. Which national team was the coach of Greece when they won Euro
IBK.
2004?
Farouk, Germany.
Yeah.
Farouk, Germany.
Correct. Which car won Fernando Alonso's first title in Formula One?
McLaren.
Renault. And who was the top scorer in Euro 2008? David Villa, Fernando Torres, or Thomas Muller?
Villa.
You're correct. And the time ends now. Let's look at the scoreboard, which means IBK, Injury FC. You are this week's armchair expert. Congratulations.
Nice one, bro.
Nice sportsmanship. Nice
I
one.
wish I could share this seat with you, but bro.
Well, yeah. I also wish I could share, but
it's for only me.
I can't do it. Congratulations. How does this feel?
Well, I feel good. Knowing my sport makes me very, very happy.
Absolutely.
So one of those things,
yeah. Do you know your sport? Send us messages on our website, and you can be part of Armchair Expert.
That's it for this week. But remember, there are more sports stories from across the continent on our BBC Sport Africa website. And should you want to get in touch, we are on Twitter and Facebook. I'm Celestine Caronay. Until next time, goodbye.